So, we're here again with Phoenix to ask him about the situation with squatting in the UK, because it seems the government are doing really naughty things. What's the government doing?
Well, basically very, very naughty. The government's trying to bring in, well, they're having a consultation this summer, over the next few months, about proposals to bring in a new law. It might take them, you know, 1 to 3 years to make that happen. Hopefully it'll never happen at all.
Can I just ask, actually, what's a consultation?
Well, a consultation, according to the government, is basically very quickly, over a couple of months, probably not letting many people know about it, that there is a consultation somehow on some government website or somewhere linked to Parliament where you let your views be known about squatting. I think they had a petition from 1,500 landlords to say that they wanted to criminalise squatting, mainly, you know, the Conservative Party's friends in the property sector probably. But they basically want to bring in a new law that possibly, some of the things they suggested were putting people in prison for 30 days for squatting. Now we have to remember that, you know, there haven't always been private property laws in this country. If you go back to some of the old, like Breton law, there was clan or group ownership of land where everyone looked after the forest, the rivers, the fields, which meant you couldn't have the abuses that we see today where one man owns thousands of acres, chops down all the trees, builds factories that pollute all the rivers and the air and that kind of thing. So what the government is actually talking about is the last of the enclosure acts.
Yes, so you know, I believe that, you know, ownership of property is sort of 9/10. You know, if you've got possession of it, which of course squatters do, you know, then they've got to prove that who owns it, and there's a whole process to go through, which is what squatting is based on. How are they going to change this to short circuit this basic process of proof of ownership?
Well, this is going to be very, very problematic, because what they're actually talking about is removing the judges out of the diagram. So what they're actually saying is, if squatters are no longer protected by legal law, as they are at the moment, it's legal to squat as long as you go in and you cause no damage. If you find one of the 1 million empty buildings in Britain empty, you can go in and take shelter from the elements or whatever. Now, what the new proposals are is basically to get rid of those legal protections that we've had for a long time, so that a landlord can turn up with 10 heavies and basically kick the door in and go and kick people out. Now the problem with this is that it's going to be very complex for the courts, for the police to enforce, for all these different groups to look at, because who determines whether a squatter is a tenant or a squatter or someone who's lived there for 10 years or not? Unscrupulous landlords will be able to go into people who are 2 or 3 months behind their rent and say, you're a squatter because you haven't paid me for the last 2 months, and I'm going to call you a squatter. I'm going to get 10 big heavies from wherever to come down and beat you up and throw you out. And then the police are going to be called, and the police are going to have to sit in between the landlord, the squatters and the heavies and actually try and determine who's who and what's what. And then we're going to get more battles, basically.
So the police are going to have to play the roles of judge and jury?
That is one of the possibilities. As I say, it isn't law yet, it's only a proposal. It seems like the Daily Mail and the Evening Standard are whipping up a massive storm of paranoia, saying that people can squat someone's home. And this is a key point I was just chatting to the people from LBC about. There is already existing law called displaced residential occupier. That means if you squat someone's home where they live all the time, where all their possessions are, the police can actually turn up and remove you because you are displacing a residential occupier. You can only squat an empty building. You cannot squat someone's home. This is a complete lie and fabrication that they're whipping up to try and persuade people.
Can I ask you, why does this corporate media, these commercial media, why do they actually tell lies like this? Surely they've got some idea of telling the truth. Surely media should tell the truth.
Yes, well, that's a large question there, Hamish. I think basically why they're doing it, some of the stuff I've read through, if you check schnews.co.uk, schnews.co.uk, was saying stuff about large property, commercial property companies in league with, you know, the media, the right-wing media and the, you know, Conservative Party are trying to basically grab up the last of property and keep the property prices and drive the property prices higher. So why are they creating these lies? Basically because they want to do the final enclosure acts to basically drive property prices further higher up so they make mass more profit, because in the end a lot of these people care more about profit than people, and we need to rearrange the entire system back to people rather than profit.
Okay, can I ask any more links for people to find out more information about this?
Basically, at the moment there's monthly meetings going on in London, squattastic.org squat.blogspot.com, which is spelled SQUAT and then TASTIC .blogspot.com. That's squatastic, double T. There is also a more kind of focused, organised campaign called the squashcampaign.org, like squashing an orange, SQUASH campaign.org, and they're dealing with the parliamentary side of it. There's another meeting on the 18th of July inside Parliament, a consultation. Well, not a consultation, more of a sort of getting people together to persuade MPs that this is a bad idea for this law. The government is supposed to be launching this consultation in the next 2 or 3 months. They're already late. It was supposed to come out May or June. They haven't done it yet because obviously they realise it's very complex and can lead to a lot of different other complexities or whatever. Is there any other websites or contacts or group? Squat.net is a big European squatting group kind of thing. Indie Media, INDYMEDIA.org.uk. Indie Media is very good. And the last one probably is Check Schnews, SCHNEWS, schnews.co.uk. And keep networking. We're not going to let this law come in. It's the last of the Enclosure Act. Absolutely outrageous. How can they put anyone in prison for 30 days for housing other people? There's nearly 1 million empty buildings in the UK. So all we can really say is, please ask all those people out there seeing this, get in touch with the Squash campaign. You know, and really, when this consultation comes out, we want to bombard them with as many things saying it's a bad idea as possible. And there is a success story in this. The boats, people who are living on boats have already successfully changed a consultation that came up because they got organised early enough. They got out to all the boating community and said the government basically wants to move people off the rivers and charge higher prices, or the British waterways do, and they changed the consultation back in their favour. So we can do it. Keep networking and get on with it. You can't kill the spirit. One love.
Okay, right, thank you very much, and check out those websites because I think it's an important issue. Right, see what's on next on Vision on TV.